Titans Global. Let's go. Started with a vision, two voices in the mix. Max and Link together, building something that'll stick. Every episode we drop, yeah, we're reaching new heights. Titans Global on the map, burning bright every night. From the first recording session to the fans that tune in, we've been grinding every day, yeah, we're destined to win. Titans Global, that's the name, that's the brand, we the fans. Speaking truth through the microphone, messages that we send. Titans Global, that's the movement. Titans Global, feel the power. Titans Global, we keep pushing. Titans Global, this our hour. Titans Global, Max and Link. Titans stronger than you think. Titans Global, that's the way. Titans Global, every single day.
What's up, Titans fans, and welcome to another episode of Titans Global Podcast. I am your I am your host, Maximus Titan Fan, and with me, as always, is my good buddy Link. What's up, bro?
What's up, man? Good to be here, guys. Got a lot to talk about tonight. We got good, bad, and ugly from the first preseason game. We have got a little bit of analysis coming up on the second one, but as always, make sure to like, subscribe, comment. This show is for you guys. We do it for free. We do it for you. So we want to reach as many people as possible. So again, like, share, subscribe, get in the comment section. We want to know your guys' thoughts. And with that, I guess we get into it.
Yeah, man. As you said, not great last week. We had a couple different things not go our way. So I guess I'll tell you what, we're not going to do like a post-game, pre-game type deal. I'm going to talk about what I hope to see in the second game, and we'll talk about what we did see in the last game, and we'll go about it that way, I guess. So we'll start with the Cam to Calvin Ridley connection that's obviously going to feed families this week, for the season. It's a real connection. And it's been proven. So there we go. Cam to Calvin Ridley, like all freaking season, I expect to see big things.
Yeah, and I mean that's what it should be. I mean that's what we would have expected coming in. You've got a rookie quarterback. You need to give him a weapon. We hope Calvin Ridley is that weapon. And so far, it's held true. I think walking off the practice, was it Wednesday? Calvin was like, hey, we won right that. We won today right that. And I love it. Absolutely love it. That's what you want to see in a veteran receiver who's trying to help out a rookie quarterback. I do think it's a strong connection. I think we will see a lot of that this season. And that's the goal. I mean, if they're going to have success, that has to be the number one target. And it's really up to these young receivers. I've said it since the draft. It's up to these young receivers to take some of that pressure away from Calvin, take away some of the double teams, take away some of the safety help, so that it can kind of open him up. But, yeah, I mean, Ridley looks – he looks better this offseason than last offseason. I mean, would you agree with that? Like, we saw some of the twitchiness and some of the speed last offseason, but I feel like this offseason we've seen him just straight up moss a lot of people in these training camps.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that I absolutely loved was he said, "Remember me," after a lively catch over AJ. I think him and AJ Terrell went back and forth. But he, from what I gather, I wasn't there, but from what I gather, he got the better of AJ. I could be wrong on that, but it appears to me that he got the better of AJ. So, and that was like on a consistent basis over the 2 days. So I'm interested in that. But what about the other receivers? You talked about that. A.O. Manor, DK, Van Jefferson, any of these other receivers. Cam's got to start connecting with these other receivers on a regular basis to make me feel a little bit better about this season. Just Cam connection to Calvin isn't good enough for me. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, I thought A.O. Manor was pretty quiet. I was actually looking up to see his targets in that game. So 2 targets, no catches. That's not exactly what I wanted to see coming out of the gate. DK, to me, I feel like his initial role on this team, I really feel like they want him to be that return guy with Prochet. And I'm okay with that at this point. I want to see some of that speed we saw at the combine. I think he ran like a 4.3, 4.40. I want to see some of that this offseason. So, I think A.O. Manor, he has to become more of kind of a go-to. I think that's going to be super important. And I mean, yeah, you've got Lockett, you've got Van Jefferson. I expect them to be contributors, but going into like week 6, week 7 this season, I expect A.O. Manor to kind of be that number 2, number 3 that we expected him to be coming out of the draft. I want to see that development and see him get to that point. And I think that's kind of the standard for me. Like anything less than that is a little bit of a disappointment at that point in the season. And I hate to say it, but that's what you want. I mean, you draft these young players, you want them to contribute early. So yeah, I think week 6, week 7, I want to see more than what I'm seeing now.
Yeah, and something else I want to talk about is if Cam to Calvin is the main target, does Derek Mason actually need to worry about his receiving record with the Titans? Because he only had 1,303 yards.
Yeah, I mean, it's a low bar. Like, let's be honest. Like, I love Derek Mason. He was a pivotal part of this franchise, but it's kind of a low bar if we're being honest. Like, we're in a new age of football where kind of passing game is king, and it's time that somebody breaks that record. If we don't see that record broken, I think it's more of a disappointment as a current Titans fan, just because you want to see improvement. You want to see records broken with this offense. So yeah, I mean, he should be worried. And I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing. You need something more than his record to be successful in this league now.
Yeah, man. And I would be a little shocked if Calvin didn't get close to that, at least, close to that. I think that number is very achievable.
Oh, yeah.
On the flip side of that, when it comes to wide receivers, the one wide receiver that really disappointed me in the first game was Van Jefferson. Got hit right in the chest, just dropped it.
Yeah.
And that's unacceptable, especially if you're a starter. I mean, if you're a starter, you can't drop passes, man. Come on, especially in a preseason game against backups. Come on, man. So if he has another game, like let's say he struggles against Atlanta, I believe the answer is yes. But does he have a chance at losing that lock on the roster spot that people seem to think he has?
I mean, it's possible. Look, he had one target and it was a drop. Like, I think they definitely need to try to get him a little more involved and kind of scheme some stuff. But you've got a very highly competitive wide receiver room. Now, I think a lot of these guys are kind of working their way out, not necessarily by performance, but just not doing anything more than what they did last year. The Mason Kinseys, I think Prochet's definitely a lock. Jaquan Jackson still has a lot to prove. I think he's kind of slowly working his way out, which I kind of hate to say because I was a big Jaquan Jackson fan going into last year.
Me too.
But he's kind of had a drop off. I mean, you haven't seen that development and that jump that you would have expected to see this year. So yeah, I mean, when you look at it and you look at who's in that room with Lockett, I think he's pretty much a lock just because he's got that veteran presence. Ridley, obviously, A.O. Manor and DK. And yeah, I mean, if you say they're keeping 7 receivers, like you're hitting that cap pretty quick. So I don't know that I'm ready to say he doesn't have a roster spot yet, but I'm going to need to see more in these last 2 preseason games to feel confident about it, because there is a real situation where if Chig shows out and you've got Gunnar Helm and you've got DMR and maybe Josh Wiley sitting there, maybe you keep an extra tight end and that drops you from 7 receivers to 6. Like, there's a world where they only keep 6 receivers. And then, yeah, I think Van Jefferson is kind of that one on the outside looking in.
Yeah. Let's move on to one other thing that was very disappointing to me in the last game, and that was our run defense. It was freaking trash, man. I think we gave up like 178 yards or some crap like that, and it was, again, mostly backups, which is very disappointing. But I will put an asterisk by that because Trevondre Sweat and Jeffrey Simmons was out. I think SBJ or SDJ only or SJD, however his name is, Sebastian Joseph Day. I think he only played like 10 snaps or 8 snaps, something like that. It was very limited. So really, we were left with Timothy Horn, Philip Leedy, Cam Horsley.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, a couple other guys. But the only one that actually stood out to me a little bit was, I mean, Horn, I guess, was okay, but Cam Horsley, that dude actually looks like a good interior defensive lineman.
Yeah.
And he's 6'3", 312. He actually fills the body type of a run stuffer, and he looked like he was doing a damn decent job to me. So I think Cam Horsley might actually see. That's the thing with the preseason for me. It's if you're on edge at a position, like we're going to talk about later in the middle linebacker position, and you're looking at two different players, you can start one in the first preseason game and then start the other in the second preseason game to see how they gel with the starters. Because some people just play better with other people. I'll be honest, man, as a mechanic, there are many other jobs that we have to do where we have like two guys tapping in. I have a dude at work that I work with. His name is Jonathan, and he just seems to be like psychically linked to me or something. Like he knows exactly what I need. I know exactly what he needs. We work very well together. And it's not like we known each other for a long time. It's actually a short period of time. But the point is just we have good chemistry together. We
you're
work
on the same
well
page
together.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what you need in football. You just need somebody who works well with you. So it's interesting to see how they do with the different ones. And my thing is who do you think is going to step up? I mean, who's going to be the guy? Because I'm sure they're not going to play Jeff or Sweat again in this game. So who do you think is going to be the guy that maybe steps up and gives us a little bit in that run stop?
Yeah, I mean, I like Horsley, like you said, but at the same time, I think a lot of that comes from interior linebacker. I think we're going to see a lot more of Cedric Gray with the ones. If you look at this joint practice with the Falcons, he did a lot more running with the ones. Whereas James Williams, he's kind of, I don't want to say he's working himself out, but I think that's a very true competition between Williams and Gray. So, yeah, I think Gray has an opportunity here, and I think that's going to be big in the run game too. Because, look, you saw what I think it was 3 tackles for loss in this last preseason game, and one of those was a sack. So it's just not that doesn't get the job done. So yeah, I think that most of what I'm looking for now, obviously, most of our run defense is going to come from Simmons and Sweat, but without seeing them this week, I'm expecting some of those interior linebackers to kind of step up and take the bulk of those tackle for losses and get some more pressure. While we're on the subject of that, where are you at with Femi? Did he kind of just? I was not impressed. It seemed like as the game went on, he kind of just disappeared. I don't know. Like, that was one of the more – I wasn't sold on him coming out of the draft, but I wasn't mad about the pick either. But I think some of the negatives that were being talked about, like he hasn't had a lot of experience at this position, those type of things, like I think that's kind of starting to show a little bit more.
Yeah, all right, look, very much as in last year, how I was a little bit taken aback by the offensive lineman. Maybe gave him a little bit too much credit in training camp. I might have done the same thing with Femi. I might have gotten a little bit above myself or ahead of myself.
And it's just one game. Reminder, it's just one game. But yeah.
Yeah, he did definitely look like a rookie who had, not even had a year at edge.
Yeah.
It shows. It showed a lot last game. But again, if you look back, he wasn't really asked to do a lot of pass rushing. It was more about setting the edge and keeping the defense of the edge on there. But at the same time, he wasn't doing great at that either. So, yeah, I would like to see a good improvement jump from Femi in this game. Absolutely, I want to see that. Do I expect it? Yeah, but I would love to see it. So
Yeah, and for me, it's like, I mean, it's about development at that point. Like, you've got a young guy, he's not super familiar with the position. It's about development. But what I don't want to see is just kind of the fall off. Like, I don't want to see him just disappear as the game goes on. More other guys are stepping up, like Williams and Gray. You need somebody on that edge. And look, you're trying to replace a Harold Landry. And that's kind of what Femi was supposed to be. He's got the speed to get around the edge. He has the ability to get to the quarterback, but does he know kinds of the ins and outs, the basics, the technical stuff? And can you teach him that within these next 2 games to have him ready to be a starter week 1 regular season?
I mean, I think, again, trying to keep realistic expectations. I don't think that Femi will be a ready by week 1 pass rusher. He might be able to set the edge by week.
But don't you need him to be? Like, isn't that the
Yeah.
plan? I mean, like,
Yeah,
what other
I
option?
mean-
I mean, at this point, if it doesn't work out, we're looking at getting a guy on waivers maybe next week around this time. Like, that's not ideal. That's just really
Look, I'm not gonna
ideal.
lie. It's not an ideal situation, and it's definitely not what I wanted to be looking at.
Yeah,
Again, it's one preseason game, but still,
true. Yeah,
based on what I saw last week, yeah, I'm a little worried. Am I hitting a panic button? No, I mean, kinda, because I'm starting to look and go, oh shit, man, is all our pass rushing gonna come from Arden Key?
yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
like that's a real freak out session for me. But I feel like along the way, like Scoob here said, I think along the way Femi will be all right. So I think about midseason he probably hits a stride, starts producing. He just needs to work on his get off the line,
Yeah.
because I saw some bad starts.
Yeah.
And that was really it, man. If he can work on that explosion off the line and maybe bring just a tad bit more of upper body violence to the game, then I think he'll be just fine. But yeah, definitely a little bit of a concern after seeing the first week of Femi.
So on the flip side of that, was there any stock up for you? Is there any player, offense or defense, anybody that you kind of went into it not as hype on and come out of it saying, hey, he might show a little something this season?
As much as I hate to admit it, yeah, it was James Prochet.
Okay. I've got a different one, but that's interesting. Okay.
I think that dude might be our starting return man.
Really?
I mean, he might actually work his way into like 5th rotation or 4th rotation of wide receivers. God, I hope it's not 4th. But I think as far as special teams go, yeah, man, that dude is it.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I like that, and I do think we see a little bit more of. I won't be surprised if we see a little bit more DK in the return game this week. But yeah, I mean, he's going to have to kind of show out, because I think Prochet is still kind of leading that battle right now. If you're looking at pure special teams guy as a returner, I don't. If you could get DK up to that level, to where you've got a young, viable receiver and then also have him as a returner, I think that's your ideal situation. But look, I'm not going to be upset if Prochet makes this roster just primarily as a return guy. That's not going to hurt my feelings.
Yeah, and that's my point, man. And then I'll talk about it a little bit later on, but special teams is one of the things I wanted to talk about today, because it was vastly improved.
Yeah.
I mean, that is one element of the game that I really didn't think about that much until the last couple seasons.
Mm-hmm.
It became
glaringly
a much more glaring, important part of the game, especially last season, man. It seemed like, or maybe it was the season before last. I don't know. We've been in purgatory for a while now, but it just seemed like special teams was just like a turnover. I mean, it was just every single time. It was either a turnover or it would go out of bounds in a bad place, or we'd get stuck on the 1 yard line. I mean, it was just terrible. It was
Yeah,
absolutely
well,
terrible.
I mean, a lot of that had to do with coaching as well. I mean, let's be
I
real.
agree.
Like, I mean, you've got Bones Fossil now, and I think that is a huge upgrade from what they had as a
Yes.
special teams coach. And I think that's why you're seeing kind of that jump at least, because any improvement is pretty big strides compared to what we've seen the last 2 years. And it's really interesting seeing him on the field. Like, he has his way, and he wants you to do it his way. And if you don't do it his way, you're out, and it's next guy up. So it's just, every player, if nothing else, every player at least knows what's expected of them every single time they come out on special teams. And that alone is a huge improvement to me.
Yeah, I agree. Just the tracking, the field tackling, everything is better. That I saw personally,
Yep.
everything is better. I don't think we had a return that was larger than 27 yards. I want to say 27. I don't know. It could have been more than that, but I don't think it was any more than 27. I don't really pay that much attention to preseason stats. I mean, I look at them as like a more of a overview because you got to look at the body of work. You
Yeah.
got to look at the type of player they are, all kinds of stuff. There's more that goes into it in the preseason than just stats.
Yeah, I mean,
But
you had one. Well, I mean, just to throw it out there, one kick return for 19 yards, one punt return for 17 yards. So, I mean, that's a win. That's a win. Not a huge sample size, but for me, that's a win. And you saw more physicality. Like, you saw some big hits, and I think that's a huge thing too. Like, you want your
well,
gunners to go down and hit somebody, and that's kind of what we saw.
absolutely. And the reason I was pushing for Prochet. I'm gonna have a hard time with his name all season, so y'all just gonna have to bear with me. He had a 33-yard punt return.
Mhm.
Actually, it was really nice looking, but called back because of penalty. But the point is that one return to me kind of made it. I mean, it kind of made it. As long as he doesn't mess up something before the start of the season, that's probably who I want returning my kicks.
That's fair.
We'll go with that. But y'all hang out, chill with us for just a little bit. We got like a 45-second, 35-second little ad. Then we're going to go into Scoob Scoop for the week. Fan of the year. We're going to talk about that. But until then, chill out for just a second.
What's up, Titans fans? Maximus Titan fan here. Are you in need of professional excavation services? Look no further. Red Zone Builders has the expertise, experience, and equipment to handle all or any excavation project, big or small. Whether you need land clearing, site preparation, trenching, foundation excavation, or any other excavation services, they have you covered. Their team of skilled professionals work diligently to ensure your project is completed safely, efficiently, and to your satisfaction. Trust the experts at Red Zone Builders to get the job done right.
Hey everybody, hey Titans fans, Max, Link, how's everybody doing tonight? So for Scoob tonight, I'm going to just tell a little story about training camp last Wednesday. Max was there, my buddy Will was there, Ross, my buddy Rossi was there, and Jonathan from Titans Idiot Nation was there. So I don't know if everybody knows, but I've been trying to get a Cam Ward jersey signed for my friend Alex, Mr. Titan event. And it took 5 practices to finally get something happen. But so on the last practice, me and Max was standing there, and Coach Callie walked up. Finally, after 2 years, I finally got to meet Coach Callie, so that was pretty cool. But I got to talking to him about the whole Mr. Titan event and raising money for the Cam Ward Foundation. And I asked him if he could take my jersey and get it signed by Cam. And right then, buddy, he pointed at a guy, said, "Hey, you come here." And he got my jersey and ran it over there and got Cam to sign it and ran it back. So that just showed me right there how cool our coach was. And that was a pretty cool moment. We got to meet the GM that day. Practice went pretty decent. and it was a pretty fun day overall. So that's all I got for Scoop tonight, and everybody have a great night. I'll be at the Atlanta game tomorrow. Maybe next week I'll be able to give y'all some insight on the game.
All right. Well, let's see. True story, by the way. I was there. Was awesome. That was an amazing the whole thing, man, because
He just snapped his finger. You come here.
well, the thing you're not telling people is that you asked about 50 bajillion people that day. We were on our way in, and
Man.
literally every single rep he passed, which like everybody knows this guy, by the way. I don't know if you ever been to a Titans event with this guy, but it's ridiculous. Everybody in the freaking the whole place knows him. Every rep he would pass, he'd be like, "Yo, I need to get this jersey." And he'd tell the whole story to the person. I need to get this jersey signed. This is why. And all day, man, we were like, "Man, dude, we just, hope we
Man,
happen.
they
Hope
keep
it
Cam
happens.
far
Hope it
away, don't
happens."
they? They keep
But
him
yeah,
far
but
away,
then
man.
we saw Cam going in, and we just knew it wasn't going to happen. But then, yeah, out of nowhere, here comes Callie over by the sideline. We call holler at him. He comes over, and yeah, just like he said, Scoop asked him about it, and he was like, "Yeah, man, come here. Hey, that guy right there, come here." And he handed him the jersey, and literally 10 minutes later, here he comes walking out with the Cam jersey signed. It was amazing, man. And again, real cool, down to earth guy.
Oh, man.
Callahan sat there and talked to a bunch of different people, just like he was just a regular dude
He
answering
did.
questions about plays. And it was very, very, very cool to interact with him. Very contrast to what we had with our previous coach that wouldn't
Exactly.
interact with anybody. So
I just want to see a healthy balance, I'm not going to bring the mood down here, but I think that's awesome. I think it's great. Look, I love Callahan. I think he's going to do good things for the organization as a whole. I just want to see it show up on the field. Like, I want him to be a successful head coach. I want this team to be a unit behind Callahan. I just need to see the development. That's the
I
biggest
think we
thing
might
for
see
me.
it this year, man. I think
I
we
hope
might
so.
see it this year.
I
Things
agree.
things are changing on the underlinements that you really can't see, but I think by the end of the season we're going to see all those things come together.
And I will say this, I think it's really interesting what he did with this kind of road trip, going straight from Tampa
Right?
to Atlanta, keeping the team on the road, kind of keeping things.
Keeping that pressure high.
Yeah, I mean, because it is
Yeah.
different. Having that long extended road trip, you're not sleeping in your bed. You don't really get a good schedule down. Like, I think that's going to be important if you have a big road stretch. So it's little things like that I think are going to show up later. I just need to see development from players. That's the
Right.
biggest thing for me.
I
That's
got you.
that's the biggest question I still have is, can you take these young receivers, this young quarterback, this young offensive line, and build them out 5 years down the road where you're looking at those Super Bowl runs with the same people? That's what I want to see.
For sure. Right. Yeah, that's what we all want.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's switch gears here a little bit, and the not the reason, because obviously I love you, dude, and I think you have a lot of football knowledge. But one of the main reasons that I brought Scoob on for Scoob Scoops is because there's a fan of the year thing every year. If you're any kind of Titans fan or any kind of NFL fan, you know about this. And
I think this
every
is
year
year
they vote.
6.
Yeah, every year they vote to see who's the biggest fan of each team. And personally, I think, and I am advocating all year for my man here, Scoob, to be the fan of the year.
I
So
appreciate you.
if we can, Titans Nation, we got to make this happen, y'all. We got to make this happen. Yeah, man, just no better person for it. I'm just sorry. There's no better person for it. Not
I
only are
appreciate you.
you
Thank you.
an amazing Titans fan, but you know everybody in the industry. It seems like you know everybody in the
I know
industry.
a
It was
few people.
ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, it was ridiculous, man. And not only that, but you do so many selfless things. You do so many giveaways. You do so much charity work for the Titans, with the Titans. You're an amazing fan, and you're an amazing human being.
I
And to be
appreciate you.
honest, I don't know anybody else personally that is more deserving. And I know a lot of Titans people, but I don't know anybody else personally that's more deserving than my man Scoob here.
I
So
appreciate you.
again,
Thank you.
Titans fans, we gotta make that happen.
I appreciate that, man. It means a lot. It really does.
Absolutely, man. Well, like I said, I'm not just saying that. I really believe that. I don't. I mean, that's another thing. I hope that y'all realize that, like, I don't get on here and just like spout off what regurgitated crap that other people say. I honestly believe everything I say on this show. And if I'm wrong, then that's just because I'm a human. But it doesn't mean that I didn't feel that I was 100% right at the time. So there you go. Moving on. Let's talk about middle linebacker, because that's actually a really good position battle we got going on. We talked about it a little bit before. It's basically between Williams and Gray.
Yep.
Do they flip flop this year? This week? Who starts this week?
I think Gray starts. I really do. I mean, I think Gray gets the start. I think they definitely rotate. I think you're going to see both of them. And look, I think it's very possible that we see a healthy rotation during the course of the regular season. Like, both of them have showed development. They've showed advancements. They've showed a little bit of a jump. You're coming off a year with a Chance Campbell injury where you kind of hoped he was the guy. Now it's time for one of these to step up. So, yeah, it's that second middle linebacker position that I think is probably the biggest battle right now. But at the same time, I don't know that it's that much of a battle, because I think you still see both of them. Like, the worst problem to have is to have too many good players at a position. And I think you've kind of got that at middle linebacker at this point.
Yeah, I see that. I think, truthfully, in my opinion, I think that Williams has a little step, just probably right here,
That's fair.
above Gray.
Yep.
Just a little bit, because from what I've been seeing, that he's been showing he's taking steps up that ladder every week, and he's not really been taking steps down the ladder. It's just been every week up the ladder, and I think Williams Sr. is going to be a big contributor to the team this year. I really do.
Yeah, and we got an intriguing player added today. I think
Yes.
it was Brian Asmoa. I don't know. You know I'm terrible with names, y'all. But anyways, a third round draft pick, I think, for Minnesota Vikings. But the crazier part, or the more surprising part, I shouldn't say crazy. The more surprising part to me was the fact that Otis Reese was released.
Right.
Because I was like, again, my God, you guys, it's like you're sabotaging me. But Jabinda, I don't know how you say that dude's name. It's like a G and a B right next to each other. But anyway,
Right.
y'all know who I'm talking about. That dude was doing better than Otis Reese, although this is his third off season. He has been injured the last two.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of understand from a standpoint of availability, but as far as when he is available, how does he play, or how has he played in starting roles in an actual regular season game? I feel like he had just slightly more value. But again, I don't have those insights that the coaches and the GMs do, but I do appreciate the fact that they're not settling for what they have.
Yeah, I think for me, it comes down to availability, like you said, because right now you've got Williams and Gray kind of leading that front. And what you need is depth. And with saying you need depth, you need availability. And I think Otis Reese just wasn't showing the same amount of jump that Williams and Gray was. and at the same time, he had a little bit of an injury bug. So it kind of makes sense to me on a level of we don't expect Otis Reese to start. We just need a healthy body if we need them. So you go get guys who are a little maybe less injury prone. And then, like you said, I mean, there's some stuff that we're probably not privy to that's happening, behind closed doors or in the closed practices. So I'm sure that plays into it a little bit. But I think right now at middle linebacker, you've got your guys, if that makes sense, which is kind of crazy because a month ago that was probably my biggest area of concern, and now I feel like you've kind of shored that up. Now, I mean, that's not to say you don't have more holes on this defense, but I think middle linebacker is kind of taking care of itself at this point.
It's slowly coming together.
Yeah.
It is. And I think a lot of the thing is with it too is that I've noticed with Borgonzi, he's slowly weeding out all these guys that stay injured a lot. And he's bringing in guys, even if they're good or not, they play.
Yeah.
They're always available. And I think that's one thing that people might not be noticing, but we are starting to weed out the injury-prone guys.
Minus NWI.
Yeah.
That one kind of went against the plan there. But
yeah. But
right.
I think a lot of that was NWI didn't want to be a Titan anymore.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he's gonna get better opportunities at other places. Yeah. I agree. I think that's every situation is situational. You kind of want to replace some older receivers with some young ones. So yeah, but I do agree. I think the biggest thing right now is having the availability, having the depth guys. And while we're on that subject, not to get too far off, but when you're talking about depth, one of my biggest areas of concern, especially on defense, is slowly becoming the secondary. I think that if we're in a world where Snead is not ready to go early, I think you're going to have some serious problems in the secondary. Now, I know you've got guys that are being held out. Winston's being held out, but even some of the first team, like Monty Hooker, I think, let me preface by saying I think he's going to be okay. I'm not concerned about Monty Hooker, but he kind of showed a slow start in that first preseason game. I think some of your DB, it's your starters I'm not as worried about. But if McCrary goes down, if Brownlee goes down, if Snead's not able to go, it's those third and fourth guys that really cause me concern. I think they wanted Judy Lawley to kind of be one of those guys, that depth piece, and I just haven't seen it to this point in training camp or in the preseason game.
You're not lying.
Yeah. Judy Lawley has been up and down, up and down, up and down. He's not been level because sometimes there's been a couple practices I went to and he was everywhere. And then there's a couple practices I went to and I didn't even see him. So yeah, you're right about that. He's one of them guys that I think is still learning how to play corner in the NFL.
I will say Marcus Harris has been a nice surprise.
And like you said, Link, our team is on a thin line, man. Any injuries we have, it's going to be rough for our team. We have to stay healthy this year if we want to be successful for sure.
Yep. My biggest concerns of depth right now are secondary and quarterback. I think those are
too. I think D-line is another one.
I'll give you that. Yeah. Absolutely. I think if Sweater Simmons goes down, that's going to be a huge, huge loss. So and look, it's going to take time. Like, this is a young team. I think it's one of, if not the youngest teams in the NFL. It's going to take a couple years to build up those depth pieces, and you've got to do it through the draft. I think that's why this organization has been so hell-bent about making sure they draft well these last 2 years. And I think it is eventually going to show up, but it's a process, and we're kind of right in the middle of that process right now. So it's nothing that I didn't expect going into this season. But if Ward gets hurt, if Simmons gets hurt, if Sweat gets hurt, and if any of these secondary guys gets hurt, I think that's going to be your most glaring issue.
Right.
Yeah. No, you're right, man. I was going to say, who's our other starting safety?
It's
Mike Brown.
Yeah, right. We don't.
Andre
safety,
Diggs. I mean,
they haven't really been messing with safety a lot. I think that might be one of the positions they get with their waiver wire. Because we're still going to get a few more guys with that waiver wire I think
I
we're going to
agree.
find a couple gems in there with the waiver wire.
I think you're also putting a lot of stock into Winston. I really
Yeah.
do. And we're not
Mm.
going to see him this preseason, and
Yep.
I'm fine with that. But from what I've heard, he's looked really solid, and he looks like
Yeah.
he's picking up on things super quickly. But I think you're putting a lot of chips on Winston being a day
We
one
have
starter and ready. Yeah, you have to. Like,
I
yeah,
was gonna
Yeah.
say with
absolutely
the
have to.
roster we've got, yeah, you've got to take a
we're
shot
putting
with at
pressure
least
on
2 or
all of
3
our young
guys.
guys.
Yeah.
All of our
Yeah.
young guys that got the pressure on them this year.
Yep.
Yep.
But Winston,
Yep,
he's
like
another one of those
Manor.
guys, man.
I
He's
mean,
running up that ladder. You know, he's not going backwards. He just keeps going up, up, up,
Yep.
up, up. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited for him too. I'm excited. I wish they would play him a little bit in the preseason just to knock some rust off, but I get it.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's
But
worth
like Blaine
risking.
says, you can't play scared. If you play scared, you're going to get hurt. You got to let the guys play and get out there and get some knock the rust off. You know,
And I'll say this too: those field conditions in Tampa were
trendy.
I wouldn't have played my
absolutely atrocious. Like
Mm.
they were terrible.
I think you might have seen Cam another series had
Right.
it not been for those field conditions. Like it
Well-
was absolutely terrible.
You know, Will Bowling, he is the sideline guy, and he was taking
Mhm.
pictures of the sideline.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
it was awful, man. I saw a video that Teron Davenport put out that
Right.
literally you could see
The lines. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
each square
Yeah.
piece of turf. It was absolutely
That
ridiculous,
just
and they
goes
were
to show you
flooded.
how much it rains down there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nuts, man. All right, so since we're talking about Cam a little bit, let's talk about Cam Ward and the slow start that the offense has been plagued with in a lot of the practice sessions, and we saw it kind of in the first game, but let's be real, people. We're talking about the Tennessee Titans. Did y'all watch this game? This team last year? Okay,
I mean, haven't we been a slow starting team since the beginning?
that's the point I'm trying to make. Do you know how many times we've actually scored on the first possession of the game? It's ridiculously
But
low.
that's what's supposed to change. Like
I
that's
agree, but let's just chill for a second because on the very next drive, it was surgical,
it
except
was.
for one pass. One awful pass where he was staring down his receiver, and I'm sure he'll learn that you can't do that in this league. There are certain things you can't do in this league, like lazily throw a low ball over the middle of the field. I think he's
Right.
probably learned that by now. Lazily trying to get it out of bounds.
What do you say? He's going to hit the coach next time?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a bad pass today. Yeah, and he
Yeah.
backed that up in the comp. He owns up to the mistakes that he makes.
He
And
does.
he doesn't seem to make the same mistake twice. So let's just hope that these are preseason jitters or whatever, and he just needs to learn that you can't do things like that in this league.
And I think he is learning that. He
Yeah,
is oozing,
and the
man.
second
He is
drive-
oozing with so much confidence, and I love it. A lot
Well,
of
the
people are
second
down
drive
on
in
it,
the
but I love
first
it, man.
preseason game is not that bad for the Tennessee
Right.
Titans. That's what I'm saying. Let's not have unreal expectations for what we
Exactly.
feel like this young man's going to come in and do with this 3-win team from last season.
Mhm.
All right.
Oh, what are
I
you
mean, I
talking
love
about,
the
Max?
Titans. Don't get me
17-0,
wrong, but-
baby. 17-0.
Look, I'm not dogging the Titans. Everybody knows I love the Titans, and I see
No, I
through
know.
two-tone blue glasses. But look, man, it's just not.
We're not ready yet.
We got the first round or the first overall pick for a reason. All right.
Right.
So let's not expect this young man to come in with the defense that we have, which isn't bad. I'm just saying it's not Denver.
Right.
Yeah.
So
But you know,
let's just
that is a
have
game I
realistic
think we can come up
expectations.
there and walk away with a victory if things
Ugh.
go our way in that game. We can win that
That-
first game.
that is going to be rough just because of the conditions, the play expectations, the weight on all these dudes' shoulders for the very first game to be away that far away in Colorado at that elevation. I don't know. I think that's a pretty tall task to ask anyone. So I feel like if we come out of that game within 3 points, whether we win or lose, I
Yeah.
think that's a good game.
Right.
Yeah, for
But
me, I just want to see competitiveness. I mean, that's the main
there we
thing for
go.
me. I just want to see improvements from Cam Ward week over week, and I think you'll see that this preseason. I do expect him to be better on the first drive. Which, I mean, let's be honest, he wasn't terrible the first drive. Like
Yeah.
there was a good defensive breakup on the first pass. You had the kind of lazy throw out of bounds, but then he came back. He kind of washed it out of his mind, and he had a good second drive. And I think that's
Well,
if I see that, I'm happy. If I see that, I'm
And
happy.
let's
If I
not
see
forget-
small improvements, I'm okay.
Let's not forget, if Van Jefferson doesn't drop that pass, he converted that third down.
Yeah,
Right.
He hit him right in the numbers. So that's really not on Cam. That's
Yep.
more on Van Jefferson.
Well,
And
and
you
what I
know-
like too, on that second drive, you saw them. There was a penalty to start. I think they were at like 1st and 20, and then you saw them overcome that and then lead a drive. Like
Mhm.
that's something we did not see last year. If you got a penalty on first down last year, you're 3 and out. You're done. Like this team last year was 3 and out in that situation. So just seeing that, just seeing the ability he has to read a field, and I think he was even asked in the press conference. I want to say it was Paul Kaharski that asked him. He's like, "Look, if you take a deep pass and you miss and it doesn't work out, like, does that then change your mindset of taking that next deep shot?" And Cam's like, "No." He said, if I throw the first one and it's incomplete, I'll throw the second one and I better complete it. Like, I love that. He has no
yeah.
fear. He's able to put stuff out of his mind. You don't have a situation like I'm going to start calling it the W word, but Will Levis, you don't have a situation where things just compound and compound and compound, and one mistake leads to another mistake, and that leads to another mistake. Just having that out of this locker room is going to be a huge improvement.
We will not see any surrender cobras from Cam this year.
I love that. Yeah, no, give him nothing, man. And have y'all seen the clip? I think they put it out today. It might have been yesterday. I don't know, but it was today, of Jeffrey Simmons mic'd up for the game last week.
Yeah.
That is leadership. Simply put, I mean, you could just caption that entire video with one word: leadership.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. If you haven't seen the clip, go check it out. I think they put it out. Was it on YouTube? Was it on YouTube or Twitter today? I don't know.
Twitter.
I was gonna say I surf way too many social medias to keep up with which one posts what. But
Yeah, I have the Titans. Anytime they post anything on Twitter, I get alerted. So it was on.
exactly.
I think the biggest thing for me, you've got your face on defense and you've got your face on offense now, and that's
Yes.
what you lacked last year. You had the defensive leadership. What you lacked was the offensive leadership, and I think you've got that in Cam and Jeff. And you could even see them after those first couple drives. They would shoot to Cam when they would throw up a stat or talk about him, and he was beside Jeffrey Simmons pretty much the whole game. You had those two guys, and they know they're the leaders on this team. They've accepted that role, and I look for that to continue throughout the regular season.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts there, fan of the year, Scoob?
No, man, I'm just excited about the season, man. Excited about Cam. Excited about what's gonna happen with these young guys. Io Manor, rookie Pro Bowler. Helm, rookie Pro Bowler. Let's go, Cam, rookie Pro Bowler. Like I've been saying all year, I think Skoronski's going to be all pro this year. I'm putting money on it, baby. Money on it. Skoronski
I was
will be
literally
all-pro
about
this
to
year.
say, you know who I think's going to hit the Pro Bowl this year? Skoronski.
He's going to get a Pro
Bowl.
Bowl, but I also think he's going to be all pro.
Ugh.
He is doing amazing.
Very
man.
well could be. Yeah, I was going to say he is a very technical offensive lineman, and he is big.
I
and
think that
strong.
our offensive line might actually finally be fixed.
I'm not saying it. I'm not
I'm
saying
not
it.
saying that.
I'm not saying
just
it.
saying
I refuse.
It
refuse.
looks at
You
this
gotta have
point
confidence.
further along than it was last.
Man, so much better.
That's
Even an average O line is way better than what we had last year.
Yes, and
I'm
that's
never
like
saying
what
it
we
can't
got
get
right
worse.
now.
I'm never
Not-
saying it can't get worse. Never
I'm-
saying it can't get worse.
Right.
Knock on wood.
Any players to watch this week? Who are you focused in on this week? This upcoming
Me
preseason?
mainly is Williams Senior, Isle Manor. I've been big on Brownlee Jr. this year. He's been playing really good. And Cam, it was Cam, all about Cam. We need Cam to be Cam and get us, can he be the first Titan to have 4,000 yards? Probably not this year, but we'll see. And like I was reading the thing today, I think the receiving record for our team is like 1,300 yards. I mean, I'd love to see Ridley break that this year. So there's a couple guys see what happens.
Max,
Yeah,
anybody you're zoned in on?
I was gonna say I will. I missed something in this show, and I meant to. I make my notes before the show, and I forgot. But Jackson Slater put a hell of a show on last week.
He did great.
No pressures, no sacks.
He's keeping
I think he
sack
played
record
like
going, huh?
41 snaps or something like that.
Yeah.
So that kid might actually be legit. I know it was against the backups or whatever you want to say about it, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, and the interesting part is they didn't play Zeitler because he's 35. So he might actually not play again. So he might actually get Jackson Slater again on that right guard this week, starting, and let's see how he does against actual starting defensive linemen. I'm really excited about Jackson Slater and Dan Moore. I hate to say it, but you go back and you watch some tape on Dan Moore. They did give him a little bit of help with Skoronski, but for the most part, after an initial chip, Skoronski would go away. Dan Moore held his own. I'm not going to say he did fantastic or anything like that. Again, I'm interested to see how he does against starting level competition. But I was impressed with last week as far as, hey, they weren't just running free into the backfield. That's
Big
fantastic.
Daddy Callie has been helping him out a lot.
So I'm happy to see those things.
Yeah. I'll give you one, and I cannot believe I'm saying this, and I meant to get it a little deeper on the show, but this man will not die. I counted him out last season. I counted him out going into this season. Julius Chestnut.
Hey.
He is a dude. He just will not go away. I expect significant minutes from him, especially with his Tajay Spears injury. Word is he's hopefully going to be ready to go week 1 in Spears, but man, Chestnut, he just shows up. And Khalil Mullins, like, I know he's the young guy coming in. I know he's going to get opportunity. He did okay. I didn't like the was it the 3rd down or 4th down where he kind of danced behind the line.
On the
not a big fan. But then Chestnut comes out and he just jukes a guy out of his freaking shoes.
He does what he's supposed to do. He's where he's supposed to be.
I'm telling you,
he is, man.
He's a hard player to let go of, and I think he is slowly working himself to earning another roster spot again this year.
He's number 3 running back. For sure.
And I thought Khalil was going to come in and kind of take that roster spot, but I'm not so sure. So I think you're going to see a healthy dose of both of those guys this second preseason game.
Oh yeah.
Especially like I said with the Tajay Spears injury, and by preseason week 3, I think this is truly going to be a battle for that third running back spot.
Because Pollard will only probably play 1 series tomorrow, and then it's going to be Khalil.
It's Khalil and Chestnut. I mean, I think that's how it should be, because I truly believe
Mims will get some run. Mims will get some playing time.
He will, but in a world where I see if Tajay stays healthy. If Tajay stays healthy, I think this is a 3 running back team going into the regular season. And that 3rd spot, it's going to get a little bit dicey.
It's going to be hairy.
Yep. And honestly, and what it may come down to, honestly, is special teams. And I feel like Chestnut has a leg up in that department.
Yep.
I really do. So we'll see. It's a long way to go.
4 running backs this year too, though.
It's so hard. It's so hard because if you get down to the nitty gritty, I mean, you've got the tight ends, you've got possibly 7 receivers.
I can see us only having 3 tight ends this year.
I could too.
Again,
I could see us having 3 tight ends. I could see us having 6 receivers. I could see us having 3 running back. Like, when you get down to that final 53rd man, where do you want the depth? And
remember, if we keep Odekoye, we
Mhm.
basically get to take another tight end along with that.
Yeah,
So we
because he
could
doesn't count
easily
on the
keep
roster.
exactly. So we could
Yeah.
Right.
easily keep 4 tight ends with 3 running backs and 7 wide receivers.
But
And
the thing that concerns me there is that you're cutting your depth on defense. You're cutting your depth, and that's where the battle is. Who do you want to take away to feed this? And there's going to be
Mm.
plenty of time between now and week 1 where we're going to do our 53-man predictions. But if I'm looking at battles to watch, for me right now, that third running back position is one of the most important.
it's a big one.
It is. It really is. Like you said, I was more concerned about middle linebacker and edge and maybe even safety. But yeah, the third back is a very good battle that we're
Especially
gonna
if Tajay isn't healthy. I mean, at what point are we and look, I love Tajay Spears. I think
I
he's
do
got
too, man.
all the
So
explosiveness
unlucky.
that you want. I think he's got all the speed, all the power. Like I love Tajay Spears, but at some point, and what's crazy is when we drafted him, we were worried about the knees. It
I
hasn't
know.
even been the knees. It's been
No.
everything else. It's been the ankles. It's been the back.
Concussions.
It's been the concussions. Like
Yeah.
it
The
hasn't even been the
concussions,
knees.
yeah.
So at some point, like, look, I love Tajay, but at some point, there comes a line you have to draw of availability. Just ask Traylon Burks. Like at some point, it doesn't matter how much raw talent you have, you've got to be available. So
And this is a contract year for him,
yeah.
right?
yeah.
Yes.
So I'm
Yes.
hoping for all the best, and I think if he is able to find himself on the field, he's going to find success. But I need at least 15 games out of Tajay this year to feel comfortable with him moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
He needs to
I
have a
agree with
healthy
that.
season.
We'll
But
see.
don't count Kal-El Mullings out, man. I'm telling
No.
you. That
At
kid
this
was
point, I
running
don't
with
count
some
any of
passion.
them out. Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to watch. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. We ready for some football tomorrow night?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. We're leaving about 10 in the morning to head up there. We'll head down there.
Yeah, head down there. Head down to
Yeah, luckily my
Atlanta.
daughter, she's cool, man. She got us a hotel room like 0.1 miles from the stadium.
Oh, heck
Oh,
yeah.
sweet.
so it's gonna be a pretty fun trip. I'm excited.
Awesome,
Plus,
man.
I've
I
never
hope
been
you and
to
your daughter
Atlanta
have a lot of
Stadium,
fun.
so I always try to at least go to one new stadium every year. So Atlanta's my stadium this year.
There you go. Heck
Oh,
yeah.
there
And
you
they say
go.
the concessions is the cheapest in the NFL. That's what they say.
They might have
So,
cheap beer.
That's what I hear. They have the cheapest concessions in pretty much the NFL.
Go get
Yeah,
you a turd from the Colts stadium. Did y'all see that come out?
Well, I mean, you got to think if you're sitting on the board of committee and you're looking at that thing, how could you put that out there for people to see that?
I don't know.
I
don't know how
Oh
this
my
gets
God,
past the Q&A people. I mean, like, there is somebody out there with quality control going, oh, crap, I'm going to lose my
Do we have
job
a
over
secret
this.
Titans fan working for him secretly?
Possibly. That is possible.
Right.
All right, guys. Well, until next time, we'll be back, I think, Thursday again because we're having another Friday game. And I believe me and Link are going to be at that game.
My Great Dane.
Oh, look at Is that a boy or a girl?
It's a girl.
Oh, she's pretty.
She's
I
9
like
months
dogs.
old.
I like dogs better than most people, if I'm being honest.
That's
Oh,
fair.
my wife is the same way.
Well, Titans fans, again, thank you for hanging out with us. If you do like what you see, you can follow us on any social media that you have. We are on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, pretty much anywhere you get your social media stuff from. We obviously want you to follow us on YouTube, but anywhere you go is fine with us. Like, subscribe, chat with us some more. We love the talk. Until next time,
Best podcast out there.
tighten up.
Lighten up.
Tighten up.
Peace out.